All right, we're going to look at a percent bar graph problem. It comes from a release STAAR test item in 6th grade. It says a project was assigned to 60 students. Each student could choose to create a model, write a paper, create a computer presentation, or make a video. The percentage bar graph shows the percentage of the students who created each type of project. So we have model, paper, presentation, and video. They're all in the percent bar graph. What is the number of students who created each type of project? Move the correct answer to each box in the table. Each answer may be used more than once. Not all answers will be used. Okay, so we remember that percentage is out of 100. And so we know that 100% represents all the kids, which is 60. Now, kids tend to find the percent bar broken up into 10 pieces, which each part would be 10%, tends to be the easiest for kids. So, sorry I switched colors. Just thought this might be a better representation to see. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all 10 pieces of this bar represent 100%. So what that's saying is each is 10%. Sorry about the room. Okay, so if you notice, my bar has 10%, and then the bar on the star, it doesn't, even though it does represent each piece is 10%, but I've seen kids get confused and they would look at the video and say video is 100% because it ends there, but that's not the case. So in this piece, it's 10%, which is 20%, is the model. And so over here, if all 10 pieces represent 60, that means each piece is 6. Because 6 times 10 is 60. So we need 10%, and that's going to give us 12 for the model. You look over here, and the video is 10%, which is 20%, and we already know that 20% represents the 12. Now we're going to figure out the paper, and we know that the paper is only 10%, and we already learned that that's 12. No, not 12, I'm sorry. 6. The last piece is the presentation, and so if you look at the presentation, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can add up the 6 5 times, or you can kind of look at it as a ratio table. So 10% is 6. I want to get to 50%, so I scale it by 5, meaning I will scale 6 by 5 to get 30. If you don't believe me, all you would have to do is add up 5 groups of 6, and you'll realize that that is 30. If I did it right, you should be able to add all of this up, and it equals 60. All right, so let's go to our next percent problem. So it says a summer camp offered campers a choice of sports to play in the afternoon. The campers' choices are shown in the table. This also is from a previous STAAR. And so it says basketball is 10, soccer is 15, tennis is 5, volleyball is 10. Choose the correct answer from the drop-down. Well, there's not going to be a drop-down because this is on my iPad. But on the STAAR test, you'd be able to select and you'd see a drop-down. It's saying the percentage of campers, remember percent is out of 100, who chose basketball. So we only need to know the percentage for that. All right, so but the first part of the question says the sport or pair of sports that represents the mode of the data is, well, mode is the one that's the most seen, the most often that shows up, which would be soccer. Now I have to figure out the percentage of the basketball. Well, your part is 10. We don't know the total. We have to figure that out, but we do know that percentage is out of 100. So I'm going to solve it using a proportion. So I'm going to add up to the 10, 15, that's 20, that's 40. That's the total. The question is, how does 40 become 100? Well, does 40 go into 100 without a remainder? It doesn't, but 40 can go to 10. However, for this video, I'm going to just scale down. So 10 divided by 10 will give me 1. Scale down 40 by 10, that gives me 4. Now it's a direct proportion, meaning 4 goes into 100 easily, evenly, without a remainder by scaling it by 25. So I'll scale 1 by 25 to get 25%. Now, that's not the only way to solve a percent. So you could have done, go back to the original. Now, 40 doesn't go into 100 without a remainder or easily. It's not a direct proportion. However, or a direct relationship. 40 can become 10. There's a direct relationship from 40 to 10 by 40 divided by 4, or scale down by 4 to give 10. The right side, you scale down by 4, meaning divide by 4, and you would still get 25%. So you could pick whichever works for you. Some of you may have been able to see, here's one last piece. Oh, well, I can just simplify that to 1/4, which is 25%. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this helped. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.